Chalo, acha Rushabh, so nice to meet you.
Nice to see you, sir.
So Rushabh, first of all, I want to congratulate you for getting your LLM from LA and Pepperdine and coming back and still coming back to the practice of law. I know you always loved practice of law. So tell me, what are you doing right now?
Well, I am continuing my practice as a lawyer in Supreme Court. Sometimes I go to some high courts as well. I have my parent high court in Gujarat.
Gujarat, yeah.
At times I go there, argue cases.
Yes.
And wherever I get any matters, I would go there. Of course, I learned so much from you about mediation, arbitration. So all this I also try to play it to my practice. Some good mediations also happened through the Supreme Court.
Good.
I had an opportunity to participate, help the parties.
Good.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah.
Rushabh, you are one person, perhaps the only student I've had in my 20 plus years of teaching who happened to love music.
Oh.
You sang at our home and events, and you had this beautiful way of approaching music. And I think music makes us, my mother is very good with music and she's given me a little bit of that gift.
Yes.
Not as much, but a little bit. But what I think is, Rushabh, music is creativity. Music makes us creative, makes us courageous. Even maybe I will even push it far to say music makes us compassionate.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on that?
No, I absolutely agree with what you are saying. Creativity and also compassion. That's a very important aspect in anyone's life.
Right.
Like we see every day, people are suffering from different types of problems, maybe mental, physical, financial. And we having some privilege, some education, good parents, good guides, then it's also our obligation to give it back to the society. And a person will only get that feeling to give back to the society if he has a compassion. And that compassion, I feel it came to me because of music, because it has slowed down the thought process. It has given me some, we call in Hindi, in the terminology of music, the Indian music, that therao. So that to think about something and to analyze, and then to think that how can someone help to some other person who is in difficulty. All that things come from music, because as soon as I start listening to music, I feel so much calm, composed, and that gives me an opportunity to think that what else can be done? How can I help someone? How can I share the privilege that I have got? And because of God's grace, blessings of parents, elders, I've been able to also do some good things for the society. And I give credits to whatever I've learned in music, and also all the good thoughts that I've been taught about. So I absolutely agree with you that it teaches you compassion.
Yes.
That's very important in anyone's life.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Rushabh, you always had this strong connection to India, where you told me, sir, I want to go back and practice law. For the youngsters who are listening to us, and I hope many young legal minds and people who want to go to law minds listening, tell us a little bit about your passion for the practice of law and why Supreme Court, and tell us a little bit about your journey. Yes.
So I would say that I was never a person who thought of coming to law and practicing law, at least until I was in my 9th standard, 14 years of age. But then my father is in legal practice. My grandfather was also an advocate. He represented so many people, so many under trial prisoners,
Okay.
some detainees
In Gujarat.
in Gujarat and also at the Supreme Court level. So, and then I also saw my father at the age of around 12, 13, 14 that he has been doing so many philanthropic activities. He might not be an activist on ground, but he was an activist at the level of courts. He did so many public interest litigations before the High Court, also came sometimes to Supreme Court. So it gave me an idea that I can also help the entire society, and whatever thoughts, whatever creative thoughts that I get that this should be the right thing and this should not be done, that I can probably do it only through law. So then I decided, let me try, let me see how it works. I was also sitting with one of the retired judges of Gujarat High Court in one of the arbitration that my father was undertaking. He told me that any person who has so much curiosity to learn different things and who cannot think about that I only want to learn this particular subject, the law is the best field for that person. He can decide whichever subject he wants to practice, whatever
My father used
subject he
to
wants
say
to
common sense. Law is
absolutely common sense, logic, everything. So it gave me a thought that this is not a bad profession. Of course, in mind of many of our Indian citizens, lawyers are considered to be a bad group of people.
That's everywhere in the world. That's something we carry fondly. Of course, it's like
And we have to suffer that feeling also every day.
yes.
But then I felt that if there are bad lawyers, then there must be good lawyers. Otherwise, there would not be any development. So I said, let me become a good lawyer. Then I got into law. I studied, I completed my schooling in the regular Gujarati language.
Yes.
It was quite a bit of a shift to the college when I went to compete with 180 of my colleagues, my peers.
Right.
And they were all coming from different states, and they all studied in English medium.
Yes.
It was very difficult to converse, difficult to write in English directly. Like when you are at the age of 17 and you get to know that now the language that you used to write and speak is not going to be an acceptable language. So, but it went well. I went to some competitions, met so many people. Ultimately, I came to Pepperdine, USA, and I also had an opportunity to interact with you. So I got to know that not a difficult language.
Very good.
And then, of course, since
I noticed it. I noticed the change. I noticed very good.
thank you.
That's
So then when I thought after about when I was about to complete my degree in Pepperdine LLM, so at that time I thought of that whether I should practice in the US or I should continue whatever work that my father and grandfather were doing and I can take it further. Then it gave me an opportunity to think that let me go back, let me test myself that after getting such high level of education and understanding of law and other fields, other culture, can I give back to my people? So then I came back, I started my practice with my father in Gujarat High Court. And then after some time I realized that it is the Supreme Court which is the best place when someone wants to get a law laid down. Of course, the court's primary function is to implement the law, to see what the law says. But what if there is no law? High courts are, of course, having powers under the Indian Constitution. But Supreme Court is the supreme. There is no one beyond Supreme Court. Supreme Court can do whatever it can do. So then I realized that why not to practice in Supreme Court and try to get something done through Supreme Court, through my understanding, through the whatever common principles of law that are developed till date.
right. So now you're focused on Supreme Court.
I am right now focused in Supreme Court.
Wow.
Thereafter, I, of course, go to different courts. But primarily I practice in Supreme Court, and it's been a very good journey since 2 years I've been practicing here. I really feel that this is the place where I want to practice.
Good.
So yeah, that's
Well,
I also had an opportunity, like during my first year of practice in Supreme Court, Justice Chandrachud was the Chief Justice. One day there was some commercial dispute that he was hearing. And then he realized that this is some dispute that can be settled. So while sitting in the Chief Justice Court, at the seat of Chief Justice, he tried to mediate.
wow.
To find out that whether if it is possible between the parties to come to a settlement best. We don't need to adjudicate me in the Supreme Court. Maybe that's the best way of bringing a justice. I realized that this is something that Supreme Court can do.
Yes.
So yeah,
That's amazing. That's amazing.
a happy journey.
Rushabh, I'm working on this new project on leadership.
Yes.
Young leaders, seasoned leaders. And I believe India has produced the best of leaders. It is producing. For reasons you and I both know, the strength of the culture, the value system, the past, the history, the resilience. Indians are, I think we go through the best training or perhaps the hardest training in the world in India. I mean, just surviving the traffic here every day is a training. The diversity, the mentors we have here, which we sometimes ignore, but they are prevalent and they're amazing as well. The question I have for you is, how do you define a good leader?
Well, as far as my understanding goes of someone who can be called as a leader, is someone who knows the root or the people for whom he is a leader. What are their issues that he want to advocate or to represent? Where do they stand? I remember when I was doing my LLM, I had written a paper in my subject of negotiation about how India got independence and how that has some relation with negotiation. At that time, I was analyzing how Mahatma Gandhi tried to negotiate with the British. And at that time, I realized that he first understood the problems. He first understood the people, that what people want, what his people want. And then he probably devised a mechanism, maybe not consciously saying that I'm going to negotiate. But in a way he negotiated. He led the entire population to one thought of non-violence, but to stand for the truth. And then, because those were the very core thoughts which are being taught in any Indian household.
Absolutely.
Non-violence, truth, everything.
Stand, help your parents,
Yes.
believe in unity,
Yes.
believe in compromise,
Believe in compromise.
believe in civility.
Yes.
India is so big on civility because right now the world needs more civilian, more leaders who know what civility is. So beautiful example you're giving us, that's taught to us at the home level.
Yes. So that I would feel that any leader who is there, who thinks that he can lead, has to first understand whom he represents, and he should also feel part of that group, and then also understand what the problems are, and he has to then he should be able to devise a mechanism to get a solution. In my law practice also, I at times observe that many lawyers who come to courts, they only come with a problem.
Very good.
But if a lawyer can think more and think of some solution. At times judges also like that, okay, this solution seems to be a very logical one. And thanks to the lawyer, because lawyers are considered to be assisting the judges to do justice. So it is something that the leaders also should think that what may be the solution and then put it to whatever.
So think on the behalf of who you are serving. Empathize, compassion, stay humble, collaborate with people. That becomes a true leader. What do you think, Rushabh, is particularly, I love that two, three aspects you brought about Indian culture, upbringing in India.
Yes.
If I may request you a little more, what do you think particularly is where Indian Sanskriti, Indian roots, values are that made the CEO of Google to be Indian and so forth and so on? I mean, I meet so many people in US constantly who are doing so well. I mean, you already know, I'm sure, that Indians are the highest earning group of people in America, like the top level in terms of, not that that's the only way to gauge or judge a civilization or culture, but it's very impressive. So my question to you is, what particularly is about our culture that produces it, right?
Well, of course, the core values that we are taught in any household is that respect.
Beautiful.
Respect for elders, respect for even younger ones,
Yes.
for whatever they are doing.
I hope you feel I respect you. Yes, you're younger to me. I've been my student. Good. Yeah.
It's my privilege that I get that.
No, very, very, very true. I think that's a very often ignored topic.
Yeah.
We constantly go to negatives.
Yes.
India has this problem, that problem. But this idea is, what is the amazing part of India? Yes, of course, there is hierarchy, there is all kind of issues, corruption, and you name it, inefficiency. But the point about respect, which is so deeply imbibed, so deeply glued to our social structure, that perhaps we know how to have relationships outside.
Yes.
Perhaps when we go abroad, we know how to manage people. We know how to deal with teams, and maybe that's the reason why we're big class. Great point.
So respect is one. Then I would say the communication, that also makes difference. You must know what will impact, what type of communication will impact, whether it's a verbal communication or do you need a written communication, or if it's also possible like through the expressions. So all those things also the Indians.
And we are taught to observe,
Yes.
not just speak, but observe when other people are speaking.
Yes. Listening.
Listening.
One of the very
The big concept in the West.
Yes.
Everybody's learning how to listen,
Yes.
and we are taught by force how to listen, so we get better.
Then also something that I feel is very important to consider here is that to think about future, to have a futuristic vision.
Yes.
So what I feel is that many Indians succeed in their career even outside of India is because of they can think of future.
Beautiful.
When they earn,
Visionary. We have become visionary because of that.
when they earn, they think that how much amount I should spend, how much amount I should save. So that way they know how this will help me in my future. Same way it applies to the relationship. When you respect someone, you also think that it will strengthen my relationship.
Right.
It will have an impact going further after 5, 10, 15 years. It will definitely have impact. So people think wisely. That is also something that's being taught, not consciously, but by way of different ways. Indians get to understand and learn that. So I think that's something that also helps people to succeed.
And all of this we do while carrying a snippet, a package, a deal of ancient wisdom
Absolutely.
with us constantly,
Yes.
which is food, what to eat, which is respect, as you mentioned, how to live daily life, and this dose of humility we get as soon as we leave the home, the comforts of home, and go on the road.
Yes.
And go with the elders, go with the mentors. That's very, very, very well thought out answer. Thank you, Rushabh.
And I think one more aspect I just wanted to add is that the younger ones, the children, when they are being brought up, mostly the parents take care of them. The daycare system is not there so much prevalent. So the parents take so much pride in bringing up the child. And there are so many stories, good stories, that courage, respect, humbleness, how you can have. So for that purpose, to teach a very growing mind. So for that, there are different stories in different regions.
Absolutely.
Maybe some stories are prevalent in Punjab, some stories are prevalent in Gujarat, Delhi. Through that we call it in Gujarati as Sarvangi Vikas. So holistic development of a child, that also helps to
Sarvangi Vikas.
Sarvangi Vikas. That's a holistic development of anyone.
Beautiful. Shab, let's go back to the theme of music for an instance. You mentioned it brings Tharao, a pause. And, some of our listeners might have some, if life is not fortunate to all of us, can have a disability, can have, I had a speaking impediment, as you know, growing up, and that I had to overcome with God's grace. But any kind of impediment, economic impediment, social impediment, speaking impediment, writing impediment, you name it. And you and I both know, living life now, traveling the world, that is okay. People can have impediments, they can overcome. Do you think music can also help find yourself, which ultimately helps in overcoming impediments?
I feel that music, as it is being considered widely, is that you sing, or there's some song or some tune which is only the music. What I have understood from the theory that I have learned of Indian classical music is that that's not the only thing in music. Music means the tempo. We call it lay. So it's considered that when someone does something in a particular rhythm, is doing it in a rhythm, or that also is being considered as music.
Beautiful. It teaches how to walk, how to breathe,
Yes.
how to do daily chores.
Yes. So whatever physical disabilities or impediments that one can have, it's not an impediment for music.
The reason I'm asking really from the bottom of my heart, when I was at a speech impediment, but when I would sing, the impediment will go away.
Yes. So music has no relevance with
Maybe it's limitless. Maybe our brain sees music as
yes.
beyond boundary.
Yes. So music may be different for anyone.
Right.
Some stories that I heard said that for a person, for one person, music may be different.
Absolutely.
And another music may be different. For a mother, when her child cries, that feels good. That may be a music for her. It may not be for someone else, but certainly for her. So there's music is, I feel that it's very difficult to define music.
Our audience must be wondering right now. We keep talking about music, and Rushabh hasn't blessed us so far with some of his music. So why don't, if I may request you humbly, to sing maybe for 30 seconds or 45 seconds to let's just tone into the music.
So since I have to just bring that environment, I feel that a Sanskrit verse would be a very good thing to sing.
Please.
It's on Ma Saraswati.
What is Saraswati?
मात सरस्वती विद्यादायिनी गहन गति तुझ वीणावादिनी नमस्ते शारदे देवी सरस्वती मतिप्रदे वसत्वं मम जीवाग्रे सर्वविद्याप्रदा भव.
That was.
Thank you.
I'm truly yet calm. Truly. Felt like a blessing. Thank you, Rushabh. Rushabh, you're not just upcoming. You have become what I was hoping you would be in the legal fraternity of India, very competitive, difficult market to break into. And even when you were a master's student in LA, I noticed you were humble, you were kind, you were compassionate, hardworking, and stood out to me. And I can tell you, I cannot tell you for many people, but I can tell you are on an amazing path, and only time will prove. I can't wait for you to be the designation of the senior advocate at Supreme Court of India and beyond. It will be my honor to come back, if I'm still not in this country by then, to join you on that congratulatory note. So keep me posted on it.
All blessings of my parents, my elders, my guides like you. I always feel when I enter any new thing, to do something new, I always feel that let me remember my gurus.
Very good.
And while remembering all my gurus,
Absolute.
one of my guru is also Dr. Sukhsimranjit Singh.
No, very kind of you. Very kind of you.
I'm always grateful that I got a mentor, a guru like you.
No, I'm always here for you. I'm privileged that you consider me as your mentor. Because I know what values and what family you have, which are very high in their integrity and in the intellect. Yesterday, I met with my guru, Dr. Ranbir Singh, in his house, touched his feet. And I have a deep respect for my teachers. Even today, whenever I come to India, I go see my mentors. And maybe that's another part of Indian culture.
Yes.
As how we treat our gurus. Rushabh, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, sir. So nice of you.